Hello, this is Nagomi from WA Accounting. Today, I'd like to talk about the tax treatment and filing requirements when selling a real estate in Japan. If you sell a property in Japan to a Japanese real estate company, you may notice that a portion of the sale proceeds has been withheld for income tax. So does this mean you need to file a tax return? In this explanation, I'll cover four key points. 1. When the sale of real estate is taxable. 2. When withholding tax applies. 3. Whether tax filing is required. 4. Are special tax deduction for selling residential property. Let's start with point 1. Is the sale of real estate taxable? The taxability of your real estate sale depends on two factors: your residency status and the location of the property. If you are a permanent resident or non-permanent resident of Japan, selling real estate in Japan is taxable. If you are non-resident, selling real estate in Japan is also taxable, and the 10.21% withholding tax applies. On the other hand, if you sell real estate located outside Japan, the tax rules are different. Permanent residents are still taxed, but for non-permanent residents, only income paid in Japan or remitted from abroad is taxable. Non-residents are not taxed on overseas real estate sales. Now, let's move on to point 2. When is withholding tax applied? If you are non-resident selling property in Japan, withholding tax generally applies. However, if the sale price is 100 million yen or less, and the buyer is an individual purchasing the property for their own residence or from family member, withholding tax is not required. Next, point 3. Is tax filing required? If your real estate sale is taxable, you must file a tax return in Japan, even if withholding tax was already deducted. Filing a return allows you to properly calculate and reconcile the final tax amount. Finally, let's talk about point 4, the special 30 million yen deduction for residential property sales. Even if you are non-resident, you may qualify for this special deduction if you personally lived in the house before selling it and you meet certain conditions. However, this deduction does not apply to vacation homes or properties primarily used for hobbies, recreation, or leisure. For example, if a resident returning from the United Kingdom sells a property that were used as their residence in the UK, this special deduction may still apply as long as the applicable conditions are met. That's a brief overview of tax treatment and filing requirements when selling real estate in Japan. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for listening.